Performance from the young Spaniards, and Fernando Alonso wins his first Grand Prix, and he becomes the youngest man ever to win a Formula One Grand Prix. And what a remarkable weekend!
Fernando Alonso, the veteran Formula One driver, has recently hinted at the possibility of retiring. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the F1 community, prompting discussions about the future of one of the sport's most iconic figures. Alonso, in a recent interview on the Checkered Flag podcast, shared his thoughts on his future in Formula One. He stated, "Probably, or at least to start with, it will be my last season in Formula One because my contract finishes at the end of 2026. So it's the time of delivering and the time of truth. High expectations." This statement from Alonso is significant for several reasons. First, it provides a clear timeline for his potential retirement, linking it to the end of his current contract with Aston Martin. Second, it highlights the pressure and expectations Alonso places on himself for the upcoming seasons. However, Alonso hasn't completely closed the door on his F1 career beyond 2026. He added, "If the 2026 season is running smoothly and we're having a good time, and there is a possibility to race one more year, I will be open for sure." This openness to continuing his career demonstrates Alonso's enduring passion for the sport and his willingness to adapt based on his performance and enjoyment. Alonso is currently the most experienced driver in F1 history, having participated in over 400 races since his debut in 2001. His achievements include 2 World Championships and an impressive 32 Grand Prix victories.
What a great champion! What a great sporting spectacle! What joy! What release!
Alonso's last win came in 2013 while driving for Ferrari, which underscores the length of his career and the changes he has witnessed in the sport. Despite not securing a victory in recent years, Alonso's skill and determination have kept him competitive and relevant in F1, earning him respect from fans and fellow drivers alike. As Alonso contemplates his future, Aston Martin is gearing up for what they hope will be a highly successful 2026 season. The team has made significant moves to strengthen their position, including bringing on board design guru Adrian Newey and entering into a technical partnership with Honda, Red Bull's current engine suppliers. Additionally, Aston Martin has secured the services of Andy Cowell, the mastermind behind Mercedes' success under the V6 hybrid engine rules, and former Ferrari technical director Enrico Cardile. These high-profile additions to the team demonstrate Aston Martin's commitment to becoming a top contender in Formula One. While Alonso's focus is on the future, it's worth noting that he has faced some health challenges in recent times. During the closing weeks of the 2024 season, Alonso battled an intestinal infection that forced him to miss media duties in Mexico and Brazil. He also suffered a shoulder injury due to extreme porpoising during the Brazilian Grand Prix. These health issues serve as a reminder of the physical demands of Formula One racing, especially for a driver of Alonso's age. However, Alonso has shown resilience and determination in his recovery, focusing on improving his physical condition for the upcoming 2025 season. As Alonso contemplates his future in F1, fellow former world champion Nico Rosberg has offered a powerful and thought-provoking message. Rosberg, who retired from F1 at the age of 31 after winning the 2016 World Championship, shared his insights on the challenges of transitioning from the high-pressure world of Formula One to retirement. Rosberg explained, "You go from an intense, structured lifestyle to having total freedom, which, incredibly, can seem overwhelming." This statement highlights the significant mental and emotional adjustment that drivers face when leaving the sport. The sudden shift from a regimented schedule filled with races, training, and media obligations to a life of relative freedom can be disorienting for many drivers. Furthermore, Rosberg emphasized the difficulty of accepting the end of one's racing career, stating, "It's difficult to imagine Fernando away from the track." This comment underscores the deep connection that drivers like Alonso have with the sport and the challenge of rebuilding their identity outside of racing. Rosberg's experience provides valuable insight into the retirement process for F1 drivers. After achieving his lifelong goal of winning a world championship, Rosberg made the surprising decision to retire at the peak of his career. His transition out of F1 wasn't without its challenges, but Rosberg stressed the importance of finding new projects and passions to pursue post-retirement. While retirement may seem daunting, Alonso has already shown interest in exploring other forms of motorsport. One of his stated goals is to win the Dakar Rally, a grueling off-road endurance event. Alonso has previously demonstrated his versatility as a driver during his 2-year sabbatical from F1, during which he competed in the Le Mans 24 Hours, the Dakar Rally, and the Indianapolis 500. Alonso's interest in diverse racing disciplines reflects his passion for learning and mastering new techniques. He has expressed enthusiasm for the challenges presented by different forms of motorsport, saying, "It's a completely different technique, but it's fascinating and awakens my passion for learning." The possibility of F1 drivers transitioning to rally racing has been a topic of speculation in the motorsport community. Rumors have circulated about F1 stars secretly testing rally cars, although the identity of these drivers remains a mystery. When questioned about his involvement, Valtteri Bottas denied being the driver in question, adding to the intrigue surrounding these rumors. Alonso's perspective on racing and retirement provides insight into his mindset as he approaches the latter stages of his F1 career. With a 21-year racing career under his belt, Alonso acknowledges the difficulty of completely stepping away from driving. He stated, "I love racing. I've had a steering wheel in my hand since I was 3 years old. Now I'm 43, so I've been driving for 40 years. I don't think it will be possible to just quit overnight and never drive again." This statement reflects Alonso's deep-rooted passion for motorsport and suggests that even if he retires from F1, he is likely to remain involved in racing in some capacity. Alonso also emphasized how his experiences in different racing disciplines have enriched his skills as a driver, stating, "It enriched me as a driver because I had to learn from the best in each series. I didn't have a comfort zone, but had to learn everything from scratch, just like at school." Interestingly, Rosberg's insights on retirement are not limited to Alonso. He has also commented on the potential future of current world champion Max Verstappen. Rosberg speculated that Verstappen might consider early retirement due to the physical and mental toll of F1 racing. He suggested that factors such as declining team performance could impact Verstappen's motivation to continue in the sport. Rosberg's observations extend beyond retirement discussions. He recently offered his perspective on the collision between Lewis Hamilton and George Russell during the Qatar Grand Prix. Rosberg emphasized the significant impact such incidents can have on a team's performance and championship aspirations. He drew parallels to his own experience with Hamilton during the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, highlighting the complexity of managing intra-team rivalries in Formula One. As we consider Alonso's potential retirement and Rosberg's insights, it's clear that the transition from active F1 driver to retiree is a complex and deeply personal journey. Each driver must navigate their own path, balancing their passion for racing with the realities of age, physical demands, and personal goals. Alonso's approach of treating each race as if it could be his last demonstrates his commitment to making the most of his remaining time in F1. As he continues to compete at the highest level of motorsport, fans and fellow drivers alike will be watching closely to see how this legendary driver's career evolves in the coming years.
What's the best driver you think you drove with?
And it has to be Verstappen.
Nico Rosberg just hinted that Max might retire much sooner than anyone expected. With 4 titles in, is the end closer than we think? To fully understand the weight of Rosberg's words, we must first examine his own unique journey in Formula One. Nico Rosberg, son of 1982 world champion Keke Rosberg, had a successful career in one F1 spanning from 2006 to 2016. The pinnacle of his career came in 2016 when he clinched the World Drivers' Championship with Mercedes, narrowly defeating his teammate and rival Lewis Hamilton.
I'm following my heart, and that's the direction that is giving me. I've achieved my childhood dream, and I'm here to take the trophy, which is going to be a very, very special moment. Nice to share that with Vivian also here. The dream is achieved, it's done, mission accomplished. And it was very, very tough because to beat Lewis, I had to throw everything at it, and so it was a really tough time, and I'm not willing to put that sacrifice into it again next year. So
what made Rosberg's championship victory even more remarkable was what followed. Just 5 days after securing his first world title, Rosberg shocked the F1 community by announcing his immediate retirement from the sport at the age of 31. This decision was unprecedented in modern Formula One, as most champions typically aim to defend their title or continue racing for several more years. In an interview with the Italian publication Gazzetta dello Sport, Rosberg was asked about the possibility of Verstappen retiring early from Formula One. His response was both open and thought-provoking. He said, "It's possible. Max has already achieved so much despite his young age. The intensity of Formula One leaves a mark on you, both mentally and physically. If he feels he has achieved what he set out to do, and he wants more out of life, I would understand his choice." This statement from Rosberg is particularly impactful when we consider Verstappen's current situation in Formula One. At 27 years old, Verstappen has already accumulated an impressive list of achievements. He's a four-time world champion, has 63 race victories to his name, and sits third on the all-time list of race winners in Formula One history. His current contract with Red Bull Racing runs until the end of the 2028 season, at which point he will be 31 years old, the same age Rosberg was when he retired. Verstappen's rapid ascent to the top of Formula One has been nothing short of remarkable. He became the youngest driver to compete in F1 when he made his debut in 2015 at the age of 17. In 2016, he became the youngest race winner in F1 history when he won the Spanish Grand Prix on his debut for Red Bull Racing. Since then, he has consistently proven himself as one of the most naturally talented drivers on the grid. However, there are several factors that lend credence to Rosberg's suggestion that Verstappen might consider early retirement. Firstly, Verstappen has repeatedly stated that he does not see himself racing in Formula One into his 40s, unlike some of his contemporaries such as Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. In various interviews, he has expressed a desire for a life beyond F1, indicating that he views his time in the sport as finite. Has also shown in other forms of. He's known to enjoy and has expressed interest in and Le Mans prototype cars. This diverse interest in different racing disciplines suggests that Verstappen's passion for motorsport extends beyond the confines of Formula One. Moreover, Verstappen has been vocal about his discomfort with certain aspects of modern Formula One. He has criticized the increasing number of races on the F1 calendar, expressing concern about the toll it takes on drivers and teams. Verstappen has also been critical of some of the directions F1 is taking, particularly regarding sprint races and the increasing number of street circuits. He values the traditional aspects of the sport and has expressed frustration with changes that he feels detract from the core of Formula One racing. The parallels between Rosberg's mindset in 2016 and Verstappen's current situation are striking. Both achieved their childhood dreams of becoming Formula One world champions at a relatively young age. Both have shown a desire for life beyond the sport and an awareness of the toll that F1 can take on a driver's personal life. Reflecting on his own decision to retire, Rosberg said, "No, I have no regrets. I realized my dream of becoming world champion, and I wanted to leave at the peak of my career. By retiring, I was able to spend more time with my family and start my career as an investor. I did what I felt was right for me." This sentiment echoes some of Verstappen's own statements about his future. The Dutch driver has consistently maintained that his happiness and enjoyment of the sport are paramount to his decision to continue racing. In 2023, he stated, "I don't see myself spending 3 years in the midfield. I'd rather stay home or do something else. But again, I don't see that RB not delivering happening." Red Bull Racing, Verstappen's current team, is acutely aware of the unique personality and interests of their star driver. Team principal Christian Horner has provided insightful comments on Verstappen's approach to his F1 career. In a recent interview, Horner said, "Honestly, Max is his own man, and from the conversations I've had, it's clear he doesn't see himself as a Fernando or Lewis and being around the sport for the next 15 years or so." Horner further elaborated Verstappen's interests outside of F1. He's got interests outside of Formula One. He enjoys driving GT cars. He enjoys driving simulators. he enjoys driving LMP cars, and there are certain things that he's very old school about in many respects. Some of the noise and circus around Formula One doesn't sit comfortably with him, and so long as he is getting enjoyment out of what he does, he'll do it. This statement from Horner underscores the importance of enjoyment in Verstappen's decision-making process. Horner emphasized this point further, saying, "As soon as that enjoyment drops, he's got the strength of character and personality to say, 'Do you know what? I'm going to go and drive GTs next year.' He's unique in that Formula One doesn't define him. He enjoys and loves it, but as soon as that enjoyment dips, he would go and do something else." The prospect of Verstappen retiring early from Formula One must be considered within the broader context of changing perspectives on career longevity in the sport. While we have examples of drivers like Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso continuing to race competitively into their 40s, there's a growing recognition that such extended careers may not be the norm for future generations of drivers. The demands of modern Formula One are intense. The calendar has expanded to a record 24 races in 2023, with additional sprint races and media commitments adding to the workload of drivers. The physical and mental toll of competing at the highest level of motorsport for extended periods is significant, and it's understandable that some drivers might choose to prioritize other aspects of their lives after achieving their primary goals in the sport. If Verstappen were to retire early, the impact on Formula One would be seismic. Red Bull Racing would need to completely reassess their future plans. The team has built much of its current success around Verstappen's exceptional talents, and finding a replacement of similar caliber would be a monumental task. The competitive landscape of Formula One would also be dramatically altered. Verstappen's presence on the grid has been a driving force in the sport's recent popularity boom, particularly in the Netherlands and among younger fans. His battles with Lewis Hamilton in 2021 and his dominant performances in subsequent seasons have been central to many of F1's most compelling narratives. However, it's important to note that Verstappen's potential early retirement is still speculative at this point. While Rosberg's comments and Verstappen's own statements suggest it's a possibility, there are also factors that could motivate him to continue in Formula One for years to come. One such factor is the upcoming change in Formula One regulations set for 2026. This major overhaul of the sport's technical rules, including significant changes to the power units, could present a new challenge that Verstappen might find enticing. Red Bull Racing is developing its own power unit for 2026 in partnership with Ford, which could provide Verstappen with a unique opportunity to be part of a new chapter in the team's history. Additionally, while Verstappen has achieved a great deal already, there are still records within his reach that might tempt him to extend his F1 career. Lewis Hamilton's records of 7 world championships and 105 race wins are not insurmountable given Verstappen's current trajectory, and the allure of becoming statistically the greatest driver in F1 history might prove too strong to resist. We should also consider the financial aspect. Formula One drivers are among the highest-paid athletes in the world, and Verstappen's current contract with Red Bull is reported to be one of the most lucrative in the sport's history. While Verstappen has never indicated that money is a primary motivator for him, the financial security provided by a long F1 career could be a factor in his decision-making process.